He says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. I think most people would say that one of their greatest fears is dying alone, not having anybody there to care for them. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat, but how can one be warm alone? You're stopping and thinking, this is a king, and he's reflecting on these things, but it's God that purposed it. And if any of this strikes home to our own heart, it's a reminder that there is no hope or joy lasting in this flesh. And that whatever our lots that God has put us in, we have to be reminded He put us there. And whether there's anybody else to help or not, He is our portion and our strength. Acceptance was not without a peace offering. Remember back in verse 18, the items that she originally brought to David. And again, you see the word made haste. Wherever the Spirit of God is working, there's a hastening. You don't find a reasoning and a dragging of feet. There's a hastening to come to Christ, just as she came to David. And took 200 loaves. You can see even in that a picture of Christ, the bread of life. And 2 bottles of wine, bread and wine, type of Christ. But look here, 5 sheep ready dressed. That's not talking about some little, like you see people dressing up their dogs these days, the little wool shirts and jackets. It's not 5 sheep ready dressed that way, but dead, killed, and prepared to serve now as food for David and for all of his men. But to ready dress them required the shedding of blood. Wherever I read the scriptures, and this is how the Lord's taught me, where's the blood? Where's the lamb? If it's a type of Christ. And I truly believe that that's it. That's where it was. There was a slaying of these innocent victims and then brought to David as a peace offering. And based upon that coming to him and how she came, exactly as would have been required, he says here of her in verse 35, go up in peace to thine house, and see, I have hearkened to thy voice and have accepted thy person. God can't hearken to the voice of any unless it be through his Son. And that's how people view God, even Christ, that he really wants to save sinners, so he's controlling situations, but alas, he needs our help. He needs you praying. You ever gotten one of those requests on Facebook or email? Don't break the chain because you might curse somebody. We're all doing this. We're praying. You need to pass this forward because if you don't, then they might not be blessed. You talk about blackmail and holding people hostage. I'm going to be the guy that breaks the chain because that's not how God works. It's not a tug of war between good and evil, and now we're going to try to get more people on God's side pulling over here so that he can have the victory. But that's how men reason. That's even how Pharaoh thought. That's why they had these gods depending on the situation. God of the mountain, God of the valley, God of the river, God of flies. And yet, here he's being shown that there is but one God. And God would accomplish his purpose and will. So what we see here, again, it's not so much about Pharaoh as it is about Joseph. About now is the time when God is going to be pleased to bring Joseph up out of that prison house, exalt him above a people for one purpose, to save a people alive. Not necessarily Egyptians. See, even this God determines. There was a people that God had in mind for bringing Joseph down there in the first place. And it had to do with his brother, the very ones that have rebelled against him.